So good morning again, and let us start discussing plot of the way of the world.
Morning.
Plot basically means story. In rough estimation, plot means story. But the real meaning of plot is not simply story. Plot means arrangement of the incidents by the dramatist or a novelist or a storyteller. So, plot means how a writer arranges different scenes, different incidents within his text. It means a chronological order, what comes before, what comes after that, and what comes after that. So, there is a sequential action in the plot, right? So, when we talk about plot of the way of the world, we will examine how much the writer has been able to connect different incidents in his play in a single poem. How much he is able to give a unity of action, what is usually called unity of action. Unity of action means how one action is connected with the next one and how the next one is connected with the next one. And it is given by Aristotle that there should be an organic unity in a good plot. Organic unity means the unity which is found in organisms. As we say in human body or in any animal's body, no part is simply there without any purpose. Every part has a purpose within the whole body, and nothing is superfluous. Every part is connected with other part, and nothing is superfluous. Similarly, in a good plot, every incident should be connected and integrated with other incidents. One action should produce another action. That another action should lead to another action. In this way, each incident is connected with another and makes a complete whole. When we judge from this conception, display, the way of the world, we find display lacking in certain aspects. Usually it is said about the way of the world that this play contains beautiful scenes and of course interesting characters, witty dialogues, but that synthesis, that connectedness between different incidents is missing. So, of course, to certain extent, this criticism is valid that the way of the world does not contain a proper, fully synthesized plot. Right? So, let us discuss these aspects and then we can come to the conclusion about how much the writer has been able to connect different incidents within the story. It is generally remarked that the way of the world does not have a substantial, means large, means substantial means something which is of a certain magnitude, and a coherent. Coherent means harmonious, well connected plot. Usually, it is remarked that the way of the world does not contain a well connected plot, means different incidents are not fully connected with each other. Though it is author's masterpiece, yet it suffers from the grave defect. Grave means serious, serious defect, that is its weak plot. Although this play is very famous, but this play has one weakness, and that weakness is that this play has a weak plot. There is little action and less movement in the play. There is not much action, means incident wise, nothing much happens. Like other restoration comedies, it has too much episodes without having a proper plot. There are different scenes, and these scenes exist independently of each other without any connectedness between them. So it has been criticized by people, by critics, that like other restoration comedies, this comedy also has many episodes, but these episodes are not connected, properly connected with each other. It is alleged that the play is made of succession of brisk, something which is quick, brisk, entertaining scenes, and there are no events in the play. The criticism is that this play has quickly moving, entertaining scenes, and there are no serious events in the play. The events which can be said to be part of what happened earlier, and the events which are connected with what will happen in the future. Some critics believe that the play is like a series of still pictures, stationary pictures, images, stationary images, which have no well-lit connection, well-lit गुथा हुआ. कुछ critics ये कहते हैं कि ये जो play है ना, ये still images की तरह, photographs की तरह से, सुंदर सुंदर फोटोग्राफ्स हैं, लेकिन उनके बीच में संबंध नहीं है, आपस में जुड़ाव नहीं है, कनेक्टेड नहीं है एक दूसरे से. फोटोग्राफी है, वीडियोग्राफी नहीं है. वीडियोग्राफी गिव्स एन a semblance of life. Videography is like life. We move, right? And every movement is connected somehow with other movements. In still photograph, what happens is that you get images, pictures, photos. But one photo in itself is not related with another photo because there can be a time gap or like that. So there are beautiful scenes, but there are no connections between these scenes. It is also said that the love intrigues are so confusing that it is very difficult to construct a logical story of it. It is also emphasized that there are many love intrigues, but they are very confusing, and it is difficult to make a story out of these love intrigues. One character has multiple affairs, and the story nearly becomes impossible to construct out of these multiple affairs. When the curtain rises, it becomes difficult to discover the relationships of all characters. It takes time to discover that Mirabel has Mrs. Fenol as his earlier beloved. Now he is in love with Millamant. He has also been very particular towards Lady Wishfort. Mrs. Marwood is also in love with him. So it takes time to discover so many relationships about a single character. It takes full 3 acts to make the situation clear. It is probably because of the intricacy means complexity of the plot, that the play failed when it was first produced on the stage. So when this play was first produced on the stage, the audience was not able to understand who is the hero of the play and who is the villain of the play and with whom the hero has relationships and with whom he doesn't have relationships. It was very complex for the audience. So earlier, in the beginning, this play was not very popular. Then slowly, of course, it became understandable and people started taking interest in it. There is a little action in the way of the world because its chief concern lies with love intrigues. There is no action, there is no movement in the play because the main emphasis of the play lies in love intrigues. The Restoration Comedy was wholly concerned with the amorous. Amorous means
सर
love.
आवाज नहीं आ रही.
1 second.